Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the third episode of Sewayaki Kitsune no Senko-san. And last episode, our fox girl, she cleaned our main male protagonist's ears, in a very enviable way. And he only agreed to it because she allowed him to touch her ears afterwards, and he did. He made good use of that deal. Obviously not as pleasant as touching the tail, but we already did that, so we had to kind of continue to advance, of course. And the things kind of went a little bit wrong when he poked inside the ears, and that's not so great. But the ear cleaning, that was nice. That was something I would have liked to have traded place with him for, because he had to be bribed just to let her do it. I would do the bribing if you want to, if you're up for that. But anyway, that's it's not what we're worried about here. We're just gonna get into this episode, not previous episode, and see what exactly we're gonna do. So how much jealousy will I feel today? Let's find out. Okay, 3, 2, 1, play. Gotta get through our usual title screens. Are you playing a video game, Senko? Are you playing Smash Bros? It looks better than Smash Bros. Well, I think you lost there. Winner. Okay. Better luck next time, I guess. What's to understand? You push buttons and hope for the best. Shogi. That would probably be better for you, yeah. A game you probably have more experience with. Oh yeah, we're also gonna get into the neighbor. I forgot to say something about that. Wow, what has she got to be thinking if she hears this? Which I hope she does. Do they seriously not hear her at the door? She's gonna get frustrated. Let me in! Stop playing with your fox girl waifu and let me in. That was a nice jump. Oof. Oh no, got her foot stuck in a Mikan box. What do we do now? That's a little bit scary. If she walks in on this, she's gonna maybe be a bit confused. Our neighbor. I mean, if you made a promise, you gotta fulfill it. Yeah, we're coming in. What are we gonna walk in on? Oh, nothing too bad, but I mean, it's still bad. I was just expecting him to be on her at this point. So. How do we explain this to our neighbor? Oh no, oh no. So, I look forward to seeing how you explain this. I mean, what do you say to the neighbor? It's not what it looks like. This is actually a 800-year-old fox girl god that came over to make me happy voluntarily. Is that what we tell her? Is she gonna believe that? Do we have proof of that? I mean, I guess Senko could just float around and that'd probably be some proof of some of that stuff, but I don't know. It'd still be hard to explain regardless. Without Senko being very cooperative in the explanation. Light blue, the best color. Gotta love the camera work on her bit there. Shut the door, look how windy it is. But yeah, I'm already kind of feeling the jealousy. We just got started. It's just the opening, honestly, does it for me. I mean, just look at this stuff here. Just look at it. Just look at that tail. Just look at how it just fluffs in your hand. Man, if I got to press my head against that tail, I would probably fall asleep within 30 seconds. As long as you're happy. Well, he did. Now he doesn't. Ko-NG. Oh yeah. You're the neighbor. No, they just... I mean, yeah, that did look kind of bad, but it's not what it looks like. Does that make it sound much better? Senko, please back me up here. Yeah, she's older than she looks. Don't judge. Yeah, no problem legally speaking. You're not helping that much. Yeah. Well, Senko was pretty convincing. If only people on the internet were that easy to convince. Jeez. Except, in our internet, you have people on Twitter trying to shame the anime before it even came out. I won't mention any names. It's a hard thing to explain, definitely. But if she believes Senko's older than she looks, we don't really need to explain beyond that, do we? If she already believes that the important part. What are you gonna do, Senko? Wow, I just realized I forgot to change my overlay. I might have to do that in post. Well then. Well, I think that was all she needed to hear. I think it's all been resolved now. Just put some food in this girl. It'll be fine. It's pretty delicious, I would say. I know it's too late now, but I'll change it anyway. I may not bother to change the rest of it in post. Well, yeah, she's pretty busy. Yeah, who are you again, neighbor girl that I never talked to? Oh, the very familiar voice. Koenji. They did say that outside of her door. What a weird circumstance to kind of meet someone over. No wonder she doesn't have much free time. It's okay, I know how it looked. But everything's cool here. Those twitching ears, why can't I just grab them? Why can't I? What about us? That's a good question. She's... that's a good question, actually. My newlywed, just call her that. Okay. Wow. That's not a good explanation. That's really not... That's what you thought? Really? Yeah, I didn't think she was listening if that was her response. I'm his wife slash mother. Not as different positions as you might think. Well, maybe she could chip in for that. Uh, that's... Come on, Senko. Just think about how you phrase things. Well, she seems pretty understanding. Yeah, things change. Now you gave her food. Uh, yeah, I understand that. Wow, she's moving them both at the same time, tail and ears. It's almost too much for me to handle. I can't focus on the subs if you're moving both of them at the same time. Okay. What's your question? It might not be what you think it is. Oh, I guess those... Actually, yeah, she probably should have asked about that before. Because that's a pretty big thing. We should probably assume it's just cosplay of some sort. Especially if she's a mangaka. I don't know who that is, but she does look similar. So yeah, that is what it is. She rides on a broom. She's a witch fox girl in a skirt. Okay. Inari girl, Yoku-chan. Oh no, how dare he! Truly the most evil of acts. Well, he's been vanquished now. Now just let me get my camera real quick. New coins. Looks like a great anime. It's when you dress up as a fictional character. Not that complicated. Okay, I believe you. Yoko-chan seems pretty great. You know, like, pose. Not that hard. Except do it cute, unlike me. I think she has a new friend. Not sure what that means. The ear twitching's still pretty good. Good question. They're very high, they're very advanced. Yeah. You just wiggle them like hands. Getting made dragon flashbacks. She's just throwing out all these terms that she's not familiar with. But yeah, gotta stay in character. Her name's just okay. She's not actually Yoko though, but I feel like that's gonna be how she's viewed from now on by that woman. Yeah, I agree. I'd probably like the anime a bit better if you went to her place instead, if I'm being honest. In fact, yeah, I probably like the anime 3 times as much if she was the replacement for this guy. Nothing wrong with having a wife, mother. Oh, you poor baby. Okay, now you've gone too far not knowing what anime is. A helpful fox Senko-san. Sometimes she's more helpful than others. Oh, there's her cone thing. It's adorable. I don't understand how taking pictures of her is the end of her. I'm a bit confused on that. But she did burst into leaves, so what do I know? Is she gonna appear behind you? Oh. I think she's into the anime. Yeah, but that's not okay. We need to watch it now. The fingers are the worst. Good thing this time doesn't have anywhere near as much plot as that. Wait, what website was he on? Apparently he can. He knows his way around a remote. Of course, here we just go to Crunchyroll for our anime watching needs. Or Funimation. Or VRV, I think the one website's called. Those are generally the options we have. Over here in the West. But I'm sure watching anime is a bit different for actual Japanese people living in Japan. Yeah, I've heard anime characters say that many times. We got Berserker. That sounds good. Oh no, light blue. We gotta drink some light blue. I guess it wouldn't be much of a meal, but we should still drink it anyway. You could go out shopping. There you go. Way ahead of me. As if I wasn't already reminded of Maid Dragon enough. So is it too late to take care of the girl next door instead? Is it too late for that? Just oh, that was great. Just pick her up and set her over there. I want to do that so badly. Yeah, you're such a worrywart. It was fine with the neighbor girl. Yeah, it's all about confidence. Yeah, even though she didn't know what that was yesterday. This is Japan, are you sure about that? I'm sure there's some people that do that. You just had to ruin her entire outfit by that stupid hat, didn't you? You pretty much just cut her cuteness level down to 10%. I hope you're happy with yourself. It should be a crime to do that. Ah, doggy! Don't. Please take the hat off, Senko. Ooh, kitty! Kitty. She, of course, will get along better with a kitty. Oh, do you like the kitty too? It's got a bite. Are you laughing at me, dog? Well, she's laughing at him, which is better. Oi, naughty store. Have you never been to one before? Has it been a while since you've been to a human area? Ooh, they even have fish here. Like some sort of supermarket. Yeah. Yeah, it's clearly been a while. Well, yeah, that's pretty magical, I guess. Ooh, potatoes. Yeah, let's leave shopping to her. I'm sure she's more experienced with this sort of thing. Yeah, who do you think you're talking to, man? Deity of Agriculture. Yeah, she should know what's up. That sounds adorable. Please try that. Of course she could, you know. Don't sell yourself short. You got a nice job. Oh, of course she gets excited about that. Okay, watch what you say. We just got the woman off our back. Oh, Buck. I think you might be overdoing it there, Senko. But okay, it's fine if that's what you want. I'm not gonna argue with the nice girl that comes over to my apartment and takes good care of me. We can get whatever you want. And that tail's not exactly well hidden. In fact, she just looks kind of silly. Good point. I think she might need help with this. Why do you want natto? Disgusting. Well, they just grab her and go, Takai, 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 and then she'll get it. I don't believe you. At least you... Well, you could float, but probably shouldn't do that in public. Yeah, she's floating, of course. Don't do that in public. Get back down. You're also revealing your ears, which is okay, though. You don't know that. There's always somebody that sees. Yeah, the little girl might have saw that. Oh no, she just sees the tail. Not what she was talking about. But yeah, the tail's really not that well hidden. Yeah, don't be silly. Girls don't have tails. Although if they did, the world would be a better place. Well, the older you get, the more, you know, the less big a deal a lot of things seem. That's probably part of it. Shopping arcades. Maybe we should go to one of those next. Your parents. That sounds amazing. You just walk around, people give you things. Well, our shopping trip is concluded, and I really don't think the disguise was necessary. Especially because that tail is really not hidden. Like a big girl. Yeah, I don't... I still worry a little bit. You did float to get something after all. I mean, she can't really do much about drawing attention. Yeah, nothing to feel bad about. Just accept her babying you. So we're not gonna get any like flashback this episode. Well, I mean like a flashback of his, like him dreaming flashback. Yeah, that's difference. But you know, Senko is made of pure happiness. Yeah, shopping was not as fun before we got Senko. Everything's more fun when you do it with an amazing fox girl. That sounds wonderful. I'd love for her to hold me in the palm of her hand. You know what I mean? Okay. Well, of course. Of course. Gotta love Nikujaka. Okay, that's fine too. Well, that got him excited. And then we head on home. What? Something bad or? Oh, pfft. Wow. Well, you could just like pull those out, right? That's a weird problem to have, though. Yeah, this show is very soothing for the heart, but it also inflames my jealousy. This is also probably the best ED of the season. Aside from maybe Isekai Quartet. But that one is kind of in its own category because it has the advantage of being filled with my favorite characters. We should also get our POV segment after the ED, which is what I'm looking forward to. Mofu Mofu. Uh, Tickling your nose with your own tail. What a jump on top of her. Is that weird? I would love to come along. Please take me. Yes, let's do that. Ooh. Can you get me one too, Senko? Yeah, it's fine. Just make sure to get me one too. I can't be bothered to walk all the way over there. I know, right? It's like magic. Okay, but you still didn't give me mine. Am I just gonna go without? Is that what we're doing here? It's okay, I just like watching you wait. Just go ahead, Senko. As long as you're having fun, that's what matters. I see. Yeah, some things don't change. This is just like back in the day. It's probably fine, just eat it. See, I knew you'd like it. She's definitely the kind of girl you want to give free samples to. It's okay. I would have liked to have some myself, but it's okay. Good night, Senko. I'll see you again next week. You know, bye. Bye. Until then, I'll wait right here. Whenever you feel like coming back for me, just just alone. Okay, that was the third episode of Sewayaki Kitsune no Senko-san. And this episode, we actually finally got to meet our wonderful neighbor girl. She, there was a lot of noise, in our apartments, and she was wondering what it's about, so she kind of just started knocking, but we just kind of ignored her because we were busy doing our own thing. I gotta get out of my POV mentality. The main male character was trying to chase after Senko, and she kept dodging around the room in this amazing game of tag, I guess you'd call it. Eventually, she had enough of just knocking and actually opened the door to see what was going on in there because it sounded a little bit suspicious. And then she saw this strange little girl in his apartment just standing there while he was standing in front of her, with his hands trying to capture her or something. And she was a little bit confused and concerned, so she just kind of closed the door and started dialing for the police, and then we had to explain to her exactly what was going on there. So it's a hard thing to explain. We didn't actually explain everything to her. We didn't really have to. All we really had to explain to her was the fact that she was not as young as she looked. Once we got her to accept that, everything was fine. Everything else was okay. But that was the important thing she had to believe. But so yeah, that's basically what Senko says. Like, hey, don't worry. It's all cool. Nothing illegal. Nothing criminal's going on behind these closed doors. I came of age a long time ago. It's legit. It's all on the up and up. No need to be concerned or call the police or judge us. It's all fine. And then you had I wish I remembered his name. The main male character. He basically was like, I don't think she's gonna believe that. What if she doesn't believe that? Aren't we in trouble if she doesn't believe that? And then she says, oh, okay, it's all good. Okay, I get it now. And then it was all pretty much resolved. Especially when we invited her over for dinner, for whatever meal it was. At that point, it was basically done. It was resolved. She was okay with it. So we didn't actually explain to her the fact that she's a god and 800 years old and all that. We didn't quite get into that stuff, but we didn't need to. She was over eating food. It was all good. However, she was still a little bit concerned about a couple things, which apparently he knew this was coming at some point, because Senko has these two amazing ears, like cat-like ears, and she had this amazing fluffy tail. So we needed an explanation for that, because that's not something people typically have. So the easiest answer is just cosplay, and it'd be easier for Senko to go along with these sort of things if she actually knew what they were, but she did not know what cosplay was. She didn't know what anime is. She didn't know, she just, all these words that the mangaka was throwing around, she wasn't familiar with any of them, so, it was a little bit trickier, but we got through to it because luckily Senko was cosplaying as a character that she actually looks a lot like her. It's a character that she's familiar with, so she's just like, hey, you're like, I forget her name, but from, so what was it, Konko, Yonko? I don't know. It was something like that. Wonder if I could find that part of the episode real quick. Hopefully I can find it real quick. But yeah, her talking about making noise is kind of funny too, because that could be taken a different way when you say don't mind the noise when you're like a married couple or whatever. Let's see, it was around this point. Oh yeah, it was great when she wanted to get poses and stuff from her. Yeah, Yoko was her name. Okay, the anime was called Inari Shoujo Yoko-chan, I think it was. Yeah, Inari Shoujo Yoko-chan. And she looks a lot like Senko. Like, a lot. And the name is kind of familiar. Anyway, we saw a little bit of that anime. And she just wanted Senko to do, like, the poses and stuff. And it was cute. It was great. So, yeah, I think at this point she's on board, She's gonna want to come over a lot. I did like her explanation of when they asked, because that was another big thing. She wanted to know what the relationship with these two were, and she explained that she was his wife/mother. So, that's not an inaccurate explanation of the relationship, I suppose. And I think it got the point across well enough. I'm not sure he was a big fan of that explanation, but it was good enough. They got it across. That's what matters. That was a fun little scene. Luckily, no police ended up being brought over. At that point, we just went on a quick shopping trip because we needed food, and he was worried that our, fox girl goddess would attract a lot of attention if she went by herself, so he went along with her, and it was mostly fine. He covered up her ears and tail, which I don't think was necessary. I do think he was worrying too much about that. Because, you know, I keep bringing it up, but in Kobayashi Maid Dragon, Toru went shopping with her tail and everything, right? Actually, no. I think she just... Actually, no. Now that I think about it, she withdrew the tail and stuff, I think, and just had the maid outfit, so maybe that's not a good example. But the point is, I think she could just play it off as cosplay, you know? It's obviously a little bit weird to go shopping in cosplay, but I would assume it's not, you know, unthinkable to have a few people do that in Japan. I imagine that once in a while you get somebody that cosplays while going shopping. You know, I'm sure it's probably a little bit frowned upon, but I'm sure some people do it. Like, I'm sure that's an explanation that people would accept. It's kind of my point, even if they might roll their eyes or be a little bit judgy about it, I think you could still get away with it. It's kind of my point. Especially if it's just, you know, something as cute as that. I think that's fine. But he realized how much more fun shopping can be when you do it with a adorable fox girl. I think that was the main takeaway from the episode. It was funny how in the POV segment you had people giving her free samples in a manner very similar to the flashback we got of her going to the market and people offering her free stuff. So it's a nice little thing there. People really just enjoyed giving her the food because she seems so happy about it. So it gives an idea of how they felt, you know, back then giving her stuff. Of course, it's different because this is literally their job to give free samples to people. It's not like she's getting special treatment there. This is kind of a random weird thought, but it's always a little bit weird to me whenever a character goes into a refrigerator and the camera is like showing it from the view of, like, the camera's like in the refrigerator. Whenever you see it from that sort of perspective, it always looks really weird to me because I just imagine somebody just stuck the camera in the refrigerator to get that shot. I know it's such a weird random thing to point out, but it just always feels weird to me, those in refrigerator camera shots whenever a character looks in the refrigerator. Because you kind of have to do it that way because otherwise you would just see the back of their head or whatever, and you wouldn't see the food. But it just always feels weird to me. And it's not like a criticism or anything. It's just something that always feels weird. Anyway, I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was pretty good. That's pretty much the gist of my thoughts on it. So yeah, time to wait for the next one. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.